So much. We're going to get up to speed here. Everybody in the back, stand up, get up to speed, and come forward. Come on, we have 10 people here. Stand up. Stand up. Come forward. Come forward. Let's pretend we're going to do simulation. There's a wall where the front seats are and the back seats, so you can't hear me if you're sitting behind the back seats. Come on. There are not that many people here. Let's go. Move it, move it, move it. All right, we're going to get up to speed here. We're going to train the trainer. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate it. So, see, you guys get to walk up and you don't have to look at this boring disclosure slide because you're so busy moving seats. See? I'm trying to help you out. Okay. What's the goal? What's the goal of the talk? I'm going to promote patient safety and quality care via effective development of faculty in simulation-based training. Now, does everybody know what the left-hand picture is of? That's a field goal, right? Does anybody know the right hand? I know that man, Tom Coleman, knows, right? It's Australian rules football. I love it. I love the sport. You guys should get involved. It's awesome. All right, learning objectives. We're going to discuss the importance of faculty development in establishing an effective simulation-based training program. We're also going to delineate key components of a faculty development program, and then we're going to illustrate the benefits of structured faculty development with a SAGES example. This is a neophyte's view of faculty development. What do you guys see? A mess, right? But we gotta just take a deep breath, step back, because what you're seeing is not a jungle. You gotta see the forest through the trees. You gotta understand what you're trying to do. That little circled area is what I was taking a picture of before. As you can see, this is like a residential area. You're not stuck in the jungle. So you just gotta take a step back and look. So here we go. This is why faculty development is important. So what do you guys think? Why did I put this up here? You probably think, oh, your kids, you got to take care of them. No, no, no. They're learning how to ski, okay? Now, I got my 2 kids learning how to ski. Now, what do you think would happen if they taught each other how to ski? What would that be the equivalent of? It'd be this. You're letting the inmates run the prison, right? You don't want the inmates to run the prison. You got to train your trainers so they know what they're doing. I want these people to teach my kids how to ski. They know how to ski. They're experts. But they also know how to teach. At least I hope. Because guess what? If you put garbage in, what do you get? I'm sorry. If you put garbage in, what do you get? That's correct. So you got to train your trainers. That's what we're going to do here. And the good news is in the literature, faculty development, just in medical education in general, works. All levels. So you can see, and I'm using Kirkpatrick kind of levels here. So reactions, people view faculty development programs as helpful, enjoyable, and relevant. In terms of learning, people have increased knowledge related to educational principles, and they gain knowledge related to educational design. They become more effective with feedback, and they develop positive attitudes towards teaching. You also change behavior. People have improved feedback when they teach. They're more effective. This is all self-reported, so you take it with a little grain of salt. But they also use new educational initiatives. They design and deliver new educational initiatives. That's true behavioral change. And finally, in terms of outcomes, you get the establishment of networks of colleagues, which is very important because you want that community of practice to help with your faculty development. Now, do people know what these 2 buildings are? The building on the left, do you know what that is? Oh, Freedom Tower, that's right. That's the Freedom Tower where the Twin Towers used to be. Does anybody know the building on the right? Henry Burnham, yeah, so it's known as the Flatiron Building because it looks like a flat iron. That's the edge and you put it down. But this was a very famous building at the time. And so I thought that was a good juxtaposition of the architecture of New York. All right, let's talk a little bit about surgeons, simulation, and faculty development. Who's this guy? Not my son, come on. Who's that guy? Oh, come on. It's Louis Armstrong, right? That's Louis Armstrong in Congo Square. Louis Armstrong, I use this because in this article that Rogers wrote, he talked about surgeons in various guises, and I think Louis Armstrong illustrates all these. So you had the surgeon as a learner. So a surgeon as a learner, He needs to work on technical skills and team-based skills. And obviously, Louis Armstrong learned in Storyville how to play his trumpet. Then you have the surgeon as a teacher. And what you need to teach and what surgeons should learn how to do in terms of simulation, they need to learn how to use it appropriately. And then they should learn how to do the planning, piloting, and debriefing aspect of teaching, where you plan your project, then you pilot it, and then you learn how to be an effective debriefer. And Louis Armstrong was a great teacher. Then you have the surgeon as leader. You want to have an educational vision, and we just heard that. Actually, Dr. Lau talked about that. How to manage resources, how to build an interprofessional team, a team of teachers, a team of faculty that you're going to use. And we would all agree that he was a leader in jazz, Louis Armstrong. And finally, the surgeon as an innovator. Use the technology, how to use the technology, the 3D printing, all these things in order to enhance education and to bring about educational scholarship. And I don't think I need to say that Louis Armstrong was very innovative in jazz. So what are the gaps in faculty development and simulation? So this was an, full disclosure, co-chair of the Faculty Development Committee in the ACS AEIs, and we did a needs assessment, and we found that the top 4 things that AEIs felt they needed in faculty development were these: assessment, debriefing, curriculum development, and feedback. Those were the top 4 needs they found. And I put this here because I don't want you to think I'm tooting my own horn because I'm quoting my own article, but I just wanted to let you guys know that this is out there. Now, what are key components of faculty development? Well, here they are. This was a great best evidence in medical education review. It was a 10-year follow-up to one that was done before. And what they found were these are all important components for a successful faculty development program. Now, this is not just for simulation, but you can read these kind of principles and these types of things that have been found to be useful from the systematic review. And one of the things I want to touch on is this idea of evidence-informed educational design. So my favorite thing is evidence informs things importantly, right? Because now, here I show you a bald eagle and Tyrannosaurus, and we know they're kin now. That's because we're evidence-informed now. Everybody thought it used to be lizards. It's not. The bald eagle and Tyrannosaurus are kin. And so we can do the same. We can use evidence out there on how to build an effective curriculum same way. So I like the ADDIE model because the acronym leads me to what the components are. And so I like to use this model to help inform our faculty development. And now I want to use a SAGE's example. And this was back in Nashville in 2015. And I put Athena there. How many people have heard the expression that Nashville is the Athens of the South? Anybody hear that? So that's a term that's been used about Nashville. And they actually built a replica of the Parthenon. And that this is the replica of the statue that was in the of Athena in the original Parthenon. Now that one was made of pure gold and ivory. This is just like gold leaf, so it's not quite as fancy. But let's go over this. So what do? So let's take the ADDIE model. So we found a gap, and the gap was there's variable quality of hands-on course instruction by the faculty who were giving the hands-on courses. And so our goal was, and part of in the design was, we wanted to create a standardized, effective instruction method that we could use for all the hands-on courses. We just targeted one. And what we used and what we decided to use was one that had already been successfully used in the UK. It was called the Laparoscopic Colectomy LAPCO Train the Trainer course. And that was the model we adapted as and helped develop for this type of course structure. Then what we ended up doing is we had a Train the Trainer session for faculty who were going to do the hands-on hernia course at the SAGE's 2015 meeting. And we evaluated it. And part of the evaluation was we looked at the quality instruction of the trained faculty versus the non-trained faculty. Now, I must give credit where credit is due, and the LAPCO TT course came from the UK, and these two individuals, whom I'm honored to say are sitting right up here in front. Raise your hand, guys. Right here, Tom Coleman and Tom Cecil, Mark Coleman and Tom Cecil helped develop this course. And Jonathan Dort is one of the individuals who worked with me and all of us to do this at SAGES. And this course used educational principles: small group, experiential learning, practice, formative feedback, and we taught them structured interactions for teaching. I'm a little behind, I'm sorry. And what did we find out? Well, we found out that people who were taught in this structured, standardized format did better when they were rated by trained observers than the non-trained faculty. They also were rated better by the students who were learning from them compared to non-trained faculty. Interestingly, they thought they didn't do as well when they rated themselves. Again, this whole idea of insight. So what gaps were addressed by this course? Well, we addressed two of the big ones, right? Debriefing and feedback. And what key components of faculty development did we use in this course? Well, I had given you this list before, right? And we have all these kind of items here. And I think actually we hit every single one of them, pretty much. It was a longitudinal program as well because we did it. It was a mentorship program. So in summary, faculty development has demonstrated effectiveness for learner reaction to organizational outcomes across the entire spectrum of Kirkpatrick's levels. Key components of effective faculty development include using evidence-informed educational design and experiential learning. And then the LabCo TT model we demonstrated is effective for training SAGES faculty in hands-on course instruction. So I thank you all very much. If you're down in Louisiana, New Orleans, end of April, beginning of May, come to Jazz Fest. It's a lot of fun. Thank you.